Hey guys, so I have another tutorial for you. It's actually a getting ready with me video, and I have a special surprise because I'm actually going to do like an outfit of the night, and I don't ever really do that. I'm going to show you my hair, my makeup, my outfit, and one of my friends, Megan, who lives here in Atlanta, she actually opened up her own boutique, thepremiumdressingroom.com, and my other really good friend Leslie, which I've mentioned before, she actually was a makeup artist on the premiere shoot for their website. So they gifted me two little outfits, and I'm wearing one of them. It's like a little leopard romper, and it's so cute. So, you know, I was like totally inspired to do a glammed out red lip smoky eye look to go with this leopard romper, so I figured I'd just do the makeup, and this is definitely a great transitioning into fall makeup look, and also show you how I totally rock this whole outfit. So I did a little butt action. I'm not really good at hair or updos, but I did a messy bun using a donut. So then I just wrap my hair around it, and it's messy because I will never get my hair perfect, but that's the first part. Second part, now I'm going to do the makeup, so let's go ahead and just get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is, let's go ahead and do the eyes first, and I'm going to do, you know, speedy double time so that way this won't be too long. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is the eyes because this is smoky and we don't want it getting all over the place. So I prime with Sedona Lace, Stick It To 'Em eyeshadow primer, and I'm using my Mehron matte palette. It's a neutral palette. I love it. I use it like so much. I think I got it at iMats LA. So it really has me experimenting with different cool tone shades, which I kind of like because I was always a warm tone girl. Here I placed a very cool medium brown on the lid. Kind of like it looks dirty, but I kind of like the smoky look it gives. And then I put a rosy tone in my crease as opposed to an orange like I usually do. And the rosy is like a nice crease transition color too. So then I'm going to go ahead and start to smoke it out. I'm using a Luxe Essentials eye brush, and I'm kind of creating that outer V in the wing using the dark chocolate brown, and already the eyes are like coming together. They're getting more deep looking. They're looking more almondy. So it's kind of like a technique, a cat eye technique what I'm doing here, and it's like I'm building up the darkness on the outer edges, and I'm making sure to blend it all nicely together. So now I'm going to build up that wing using black shadow. So I really like this technique. You take an angled brush and black matte shadow, and you kind of create a wing, and you smoke it up a little bit. You fade it up. So later on I'm going to put liner, and it's going to automatically be a nice smoked out but defined line. So here I am with some brow pencils from Kevyn Aucoin. Oh my god, if you have not tried Kevyn Aucoin brow pencils, you must. They're pricey, but they are amazing. I'm using two shades. One is brunette, and I use that to fill or to outline the brows and fill them in, and I use I think it's warm blonde, and I use that to kind of get the front of the brow so that it has that you know, gradiated light brow front look. And these pencils are so natural and so amazing. And then I go ahead and do my highlight with some concealer and my Sedona Lace synthetic shader. So I'm applying a highlight to clean up the brows, but also really to act as a highlight. And then on top I'm putting a mixture of like this white and this vanilla shade from the Mehron palette. I'm just packing on top of the concealer to kind of set it and brighten up that brow bone. All these shadows are matte, so just take your time, pat them on, blend, 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 blend. Okay, so now I am going in with a gel liner. This is my first time using the Inglot number 77, the famous black gel liner, and it was so slick because you know how it is. It's like, it's tricky when they're brand new. They kind of work better when they're a little older. So just apply that onto your waterline as well, and it'll just stay, it won't budge. Believe me, this stuff will last. Now I'm going to curl my lashes and apply mascara. I do that before falsies because I think when you do it this way, your falsies last longer. Now I'm applying House of Lashes Iconic Lashes, which are my new fave style. So I applied that on with some House of Lashes lash glue, and I curled them with my Preo individual lash curler. Okay, so now it's time for the face. So what I'm doing is priming my skin with CoverFX Mattifying Primer to smooth everything out, make everything anti-shine and all that jazz. Now I'm using my go-to corrector, which is the Ben 9 Neutralizer Cream Crayon, and I use this. If I don't use this, I really notice personally that my under eye circles pop out. Okay, now I'm going to apply some foundation. I'm actually using the CoverFX Cream Foundation in G70. I love this foundation when I want a glam look, and this is exactly what this is. So I mixed in some of this Gerard Cosmetics BB Glow Gel. It's like a bronzy shimmer. I just kind of dotted it on the back of my hand and kind of mixed it with that cream foundation because I wanted to try doing this little dewy look, and it looks nice. The shimmer is more bronzy, so it doesn't look quite so shiny. It looks good with a tan. So I'm using a flat synthetic brush, applying this all over my skin, and then I moved on to my concealer. This is the cream concealer in medium from CoverFX. I didn't quite love that it wasn't bright enough, so a lot of times I'll use just a light, but I had the medium handy. So instead what I did is I dipped my synthetic blender from the Vortex collection into Anastasia 1.0 Pro Concealer, which is pretty light. So when I mixed the two, like when I mixed my brush with a lighter concealer with what was on my face, it kind of gave me a nice balance between the two. So I'm just blending it in a little bit, kind of getting the coverage and the evenness. It's not going to be completely blended because I'll do that later. So now I'm setting the highlight with, I don't remember what powder it was, but a light translucent powder, and then I'm setting the whole face with a bigger brush because I don't need as much concentrated powder there. Now I want to do a contour, like a real defined contour, because I feel like when you go glam you need a good contour. So I don't always do a cream contour, but this time I did, and I used the CoverFX Cream Foundation in N90 or N100. So it's a very deep shade, but it's a perfect contour because it looks really bronzy and it makes you look tan and contour at the same time. So I did my nose, and then I'm using that same flat buffer brush to get my around my face, and it gives a nice sharp line, and then you just kind of blend it in, and since it's cream it blends really easily. So then I'm going to set that, because you always want to set the creams. I'm using the Suntan Bronzer from CoverFX and my Jumbo Fan Brush, and I use the same Jumbo Fan Brush to get my blush on, which is a gorgeous Wet n Wild blush. I haven't used it in a really long time, but it just adds a really nice color to the cheeks. And then I'm going to use that same blush into my crease just to kind of tie it together. Did this in my last Getting Ready With Me video. I really like that technique. Then back to the Jumbo Fan Brush, and I'm applying my favorite Sunlight Illuminator from CoverFX to give some glow to the skin because everything else is matte. So now we're going to smoke out the eyes just a little bit more because I felt like I could have used a little bit more definition. I always do that at the end. I just always add a little bit more deepness and darkness to the eyes. So I did that with a dark matte brown and the pointed crease brush, and now I am just kind of touching up liner, whatever needs touching up around the eyes. And I am going to the bottom lash line. Now I do the bottom lash line first because I don't want the concealer to cover it up. So I set that liner and smoke that with black, and then I go in with browns underneath to help blend it out, and that gives a really nice smoky look. So onto the lips, which is like one of my favorite parts. I'm using a deep wine lip pencil. I think this is Jordana's Cabernet, and this is going to give the red lip a vampy look. So I'm going to outline the whole lip. I didn't overdraw or anything. You can if you want. And then I use a Lime Crime Velveteen. It's like their liquid lipsticks. Oh my god, so nice. It's gorgeous and it lasts forever. So I'm using that on all over the lips, and I'm kind of trying to blend in that lip line a little bit so that way it's not too harsh. But it's okay that the outside is a little darker. Then we clean everything up with a little bit of that cream foundation on a synthetic brush, and that's going to give you the perfect red lip. I don't go for a lighter color because then you have to blend it. Set it with a makeup setting spray. This is Mall in the bottle, and you are done. Okay, so here is the final look. This is definitely very sexy and glam. I went for a really smoky eye, but I focused on like browns and just a little bit of black around the liner, so that way it wasn't, too typical, like it's got a lot of brown, rosy shades. And I kind of like that. All matte too, which is a little trickier to do, but the outcome is really nice and sophisticated, especially now that I have like a red matte lip. Like matte eyes, matte lip, but I do have some shimmer on my cheeks. But this lip, man, this is gorgeous. This is the Lime Crime Red Velvet, famous red lippy. Got my messy bun. It kind of became messy, but that's good because it was definitely not neat, so I'm going to pretend like I want it to be messy. So let's go ahead and move on to the complete outfit. Okay, so the first accessory I need is this Airbrush Legs by Sally Hansen. I definitely need some tan legs for a short romper like this. I also need this really pretty gold metallic purse from Target, and lastly I have these tall nude pumps from Edelman, and they just make my legs look super long. So onto the awkward modeling and posing. This is what the outfit looks like. Everything done, hair, makeup, and clothes. And from head to toe, this is the final look. Don't forget to check out the premiumdressingroom.com for this outfit and makeupbyrenrun.com for a full post of pictures and products used. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and until next time, have a great night. Ciao, Bellas.